Welcome back to the Hooligans pitch. As always, it's a sad Chad and a sad Michael.
Sad Chad.
Yeah, we're here night of the U.S. exiting the World Cup.
I've had all day to process this. Emotions were high at the start of the day. We had some expectations that we didn't have maybe a month ago. So when those expectations were there, and you got Alexi Lalas and a bunch of other, Charles Barkley on TNT tonight saying, "I guarantee the United States is going to beat the Netherlands." When you hear all that, I just got goosebumps right now. When you hear all that stuff coming out of them, it just gets you more hyped and anticipation for better things to come. And
I mean, it's like they say, it's the hope that kills you.
It's the worst feeling. It's the worst. So I know we usually start out our podcast with what we're having to drink. I'm going to be straight up with you. I am drinking Gatorade because I need to replenish. That's
fair. That's fair.
That's just how we're rolling today. How about yourself?
Just a little variation of the G&T. It's the gin and a Sicilian lemonade tonic.
Oh, nice.
So nice and lemony.
That sounds like a good nightcap for a rough day. I had fun though. Did you have fun?
Yeah, I mean, especially considering how US had played kind of all through qualifying. It was very much of just all right, we either came out and got a goal and sat back, or just fought for a draw. None of our qualifying performances were overly convincing, I guess.
Yeah.
But then I thought here in the World Cup, throughout every game, we looked up for it and looked, excited. We were exciting to watch, and maybe could have won a game or two in the group stage, but we liked the dramatics and had to wait till the final day to make sure we got through. But
it does make it interesting when you think about what if we did place first in our group with the win over Wales in the beginning of the group stages, and then we'd be going against Senegal. At this point, it's I know it's so many what ifs, so many Zimmerman doesn't make a tackle. How many things change down the line? We might not be. It might not, there's so many what ifs. You just don't know what's coming. So I guess we could really only focus on the now. And did I expect us to get to the round of 16? Yes and no. It's our team is so young. Would I have been disappointed if we didn't make the round of 16? No, because that's not necessarily the goal. I wouldn't have been disappointed. I would have been, darn it. But I don't. Our team is so young to where this was
second youngest team there. So
it wouldn't have been our future's in trouble.
No. Yeah, not like that.
Yeah. So of course, maybe disappointed is not the perfect word, because I am bummed that we didn't go further, and I maybe would have been bummed we didn't make it, but I never would have been we didn't make it like the Germans or the countries that are just wow, you guys kind of you messed that up pretty bad. So nice to not be one of those teams.
For sure. I mean, that's kind of my sentiment the whole time leading up to the World Cup and getting into it, was just we have a young squad with not ready to really make a deep run into the World Cup, but as long as the core of this group can stick together and get all this experience at this World Cup and then over the qualifying, I think we put ourselves in a pretty good position for the 2026 World Cup. And I mean, then we have home soil, so it's we get a little bit more in our favor, and that whole team will basically be in their prime age range at least. So see, the hope is already starting back up.
And our country, with the next 4 years, we're gonna have more seasons of Ted Lasso, more seasons of Vulcan. The growth and the popularity of it is just going to continue to skyrocket. My dad is asking all these questions about everything now, especially since we started doing this. He's now has some interest in like what's going on. He texted me a photo. I guess he made a Dave Matthews jersey. It was an old USA kit. I'll have to send it to you. And he texted me. He goes, "Hey, was this a former United States men's kit?" And I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I thought." He's like, "Are you sure it's not the women's kit?" And I looked at it again. I was like, "Oh yeah, no, that's the women's kit." It had 3 stars of a badge. And I was like, I didn't really ask like how that happened.
Yeah.
But I guess he was at a concert, and a guy whose daughter played with the United States women's national team. I think U23 or something around there, but she was really good. He went up to my dad. She's like, "Are you a United States women's national team fan?" And my dad was like, "What?" Like no idea like what. He's like, I guess. And then he's like, "Oh, I saw the jersey, I saw the stars." So my dad was very kind of caught off guard, and so yeah, that was funny. But again, it's this was all a big setup for the next 4 years. And we stood by that fact before this World Cup started. We all knew it. I just think now we need to adjust and fine tune not a ton of things, not a ton. Do you want to start us off with something that you'd like to see change for the future?
Well, I think the clearest thing right away is the striker situation.
Absolutely.
I mean, that was maybe our biggest like missing piece. Mm-hmm. Kind of like throughout qualifying and here we just through qualifying we tried a bunch of different strikers. Here we brought Josh Sargent, who's actively playing at Norwich and doing well.
Which I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't want to say he's a huge difference maker for today's game, but it would have been really interesting after his last game and how good he played. That confidence carries over. It truly does, and it's a. Oh, that just sucks that he couldn't play today.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I'll let you continue. I just need to get that off my chest.
Then we have Haji Wright, who prior to the World Cup, I think made 1 or 2 international appearances, and he plays in Turkey, and his stats are kind of similar to Josh Sargent, but I'd say the Championship is probably a tougher league than the Turkish league. And then you have Jesus Ferreira, who had a great MLS season, but the kid hasn't played since middle of October.
I don't know what they expected out of him today to be going against arguably the best defender of the last decade, the tallest goalkeeper in the World Cup. There's just so many factors that went against him. They're like, "Save us," and the guy's like, "What?"
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of feel bad for him because this was his only minutes at the World Cup, and he's thrown in kind of at the deep end. Like, not only is it Netherlands, but it's round of 16. Like, you got to perform, and this was his like actually first competitive match in a month and a half, basically. Like, that's just hard to come into, and I think especially how we started the match against Netherlands, like it took us a while to kind of figure out how to break them down and work through them a little bit. So I think I don't mind the 3 strikers we brought, but I think it needed to be like more rotation in them, like get them all some minutes early on in that first game and second game. And I don't know if your whole plan was Sargent might have been the plan for today, and Ferreira's maybe more similar to Sargent than Haji Wright was, but like, shouldn't you have been getting him at least some time on the field? And I just striker's the biggest issue going forward, I think.
I couldn't agree more with you on that point. We didn't see Josh Sargent in the Wales game. We saw Jordan Morris, who just keeps making these little surprise appearances. I don't fully understand it. We saw Josh Sargent at the end of the England game, and then we gave him the Iran game to kind of like get set up. So it sounded like we had no idea what the game plan was with our number 9 spot. Zero idea. We were just like, let's try to find something.
I think that was it. I mean, and it's just kind of rough. Like, a lot of our attack comes down the wings, and then they want to cross it in.
Impossible.
And like, Impossible today for sure. I mean, Haji Wright, I think, is 6'3", 6'4". So like he's got height, but again, you're used to playing in the Turkish league, so I don't know
arguably
how
the tallest person in that league.
Probably.
I can't imagine probably there's people taller than him there.
And I mean, you know, it's a fine tactic, but I just don't think we have like the target man, like the Giroud kind of player up top that we know will get his head on the ball and be able to go toe to toe with a Van Dijk and stuff, and like
we need
compete in the air like that.
We need a new Josie Altidore.
Pretty much, yeah.
A better one.
Yeah.
And I know those are few and far, and I don't know where we're going to find that just yet. They got to be. They got to be out there. I'm excited to see Josh Sargent grow. My biggest thing is huge props to Matt Turner today. Yeah, I think he played great. Yeah. Defense definitely let him down. You know, our right backs and left backs, Robinson and Dest, they're just a little too small and a little the skill level they need to have, it just needs to be a little bit higher. And I just don't think we have that with those positions yet. And then my other thing is all our guys on our field need to start wherever they're going in the next 4 years. So many of the guys are coming off the bench. Like Matt Turner's not even starting. Pulisic isn't starting. We can go down the line of people who just aren't really playing as much as they should be. So I think our fitness isn't as great as it needs to be. You know, McKinney's coming out at the 60th minute, and he's arguably our best player. He just can't. Yeah. He can't go the full 90. Like that just can't happen. We need to see Reyna playing. Super surprised to actually see him in today's game. I was honestly shocked because I was just like, why today? Was this always like our fire alarm, like in case shit goes wrong, put in Reyna?
I guess, but it's kind of like the Ferreira thing. Like, shouldn't he have been getting minutes in the group games just to kind of get comfortable, kind of find his feet out there, and that because he came on here and I thought he had a lot of good moments. He's good with the close control. He had some good passes. He's one of our most creative players, and I think Greg Berhalter kind of dodged that question a lot of like, where is Reyna? And I'd like to get a more clear answer from him, honestly, of like, if the dude just wasn't fit,
say it.
We can just say that, but like, not this whole like, run around of like, oh yeah, he's available for selection, and then we just never see him.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk too that his motivation might have been lacking, or at least the team morale, the chemistry with him coming in just because he wasn't playing. So morale might have been low. That's a huge what if.
Yeah.
But again, this is all for the future. A win would have been amazing today. I was, dreaming about it essentially.
Oh yeah.
But like, it's the Dutch. They have.
I mean, yeah, like
they have not a great team. Great. There's a select few that are great. They're under that, and
yeah. I'm not like delusional. I understand that us winning here would have been an upset.
Yeah,
and I think for a vast majority of that match, the Dutch were in like,
they knew what
I don't know, cruise control, like, because you kind of even saw it at the end of the game when we scored that goal. Granted, we're still pushing players up to get another one, but the Dutch looked a little bit more attacking after that. Like, they didn't sit back as much. So, had Pulisic scored that goal in the second minute and we start there, I don't know that we would have been able to hang on to a lead anyway. But there are plenty of good moments for the U.S. I just think the striker is an issue just because we need shooters up there, and Weah had a shot from outside the box, which ended up being an easy save, but just like take those shots, and it came down to just three dumb defensive errors. Like,
our heads were not on swivels today.
No, not at all. Especially that last goal.
when that last goal was setting up, I was basically standing at the TV pointing at I was like, look at where he is. He's wide open, and then the ball went right to him. I was just like,
yeah,
that's it. Yeah, the Pulisic shot at the beginning, it makes you wonder if he's fit. Does that go in? Like, there's so many freaking questions we have. When we did score, Kristen was in the bathroom, and everyone in our house was like, just stay in there, just stay, it's good luck. And then I think she came out like 2 minutes later, and then the Dutch, or it was like whatever it was, she came out 2 minutes later, the Dutch scored 3 minutes later, everyone was like, go back in.
Go back in.
It was funny, but yeah, it makes you wonder if the Dutch really just wanted to like thump us. Could it have been worse?
Yeah, I mean,
hard to say.
Yeah, it just seemed like, you know, they were there to play a game and like would turn it up if they had to, but like once they got their initial goal, you can see they kind of just sat back and like were kind of happy to let us have the ball and try and break them down. And you know, we had a few good chances where we broke through or, you know, got the shot off and stuff, and I think that just kind of goes hand in hand with how young we are and some of the lack of experience. I mean, I'm sure the adrenaline is, you know, spiking through the roof at that point when you got to look on goal and, you know, yeah, then you sail it high or straight at the keeper or whatever. But overall, I'm just going to say happy with the U.S. and how they played in the World Cup, played in this game. Like, I've seen too many of the games in the qualifiers and stuff where it's like we just lay down to die. So I didn't see any of that.
No. We did not give up, especially when we went down 2-0. We could have easily folded.
Yeah.
When we got that goal back, man, that sparked some life, though. That was like, man, our house was jumping. It looked like they were hyped, too, because that goal was, like, not supposed to happen. That was the most bizarre, like, sequence.
Some, like, crazy touch.
That was, like, the most accidental goal I've ever seen, and seeing Virgil's face, was just like, oh no. That was pretty golden.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was interesting the way the Netherlands played today because they gave us a lot of space to like you said, to try to break them down. But when we were able to break them down and finally get the ball near their 18-yard box, it looked like we kind of froze. There were times when passes just were not strong, not confident. Maybe because they kind of surprised us. They were saying, here's the space, take it. And we were just like, oh my God, they're giving it to us. And it looked like we just didn't really know what to do. I feel like that happened quite a bit. Just the passing just was, it didn't look strong. The passing didn't look strong. There were times when Anthony Robinson was really pushing up far. And then he got called for an offside late in that game. I don't know if you remember. It was probably around the 60 or 70th minute. I was pretty pissed then because he was walking when he got called off in a position where he shouldn't have been. I was just like, oh man. I was like, is that how we're really going to end this game, by walking back and getting called for a stupid offside? And you know, I think we scored a goal not long after that. But I think he really needs to fine tune his game. That's you know, under the striker spot, that he just doesn't look like you could really handle the moment when people were coming at him.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, you know, a very attack-minded fullback, which is good. Like, we can use that, and we definitely like build up through him, and you know, Dest on the other side. But you know, some of his first touch is just almost every time terrible.
Start off the game that way, and I was like, oh yeah, here we go.
And then sometimes his crossing, or I guess his like not reaction, but like time of choice to pass is a little bit late. And I just think like it would, as much as him and Dest are kind of vital to the attack in this setup, like I do think we should have brought a more defensive-minded like fullback for either both sides, or at least one side, so then we can kind of balance it out a little bit more. And you know, okay, like we're seeing Dumfries gets space for days on this side the whole game, so it's like, all right, Anthony, you got to come out, like let's throw in the more defensive guy so he can kind of stay back and keep him back. And I mean, I don't really know that we had an option to do that, but
there might not have been, honestly.
But I mean, like, that's, maybe something for Greg to think about moving forward is, like, you can start out with your attacking fullbacks, but if you guys are getting beat on the counter or getting beat wide and stuff, like, change something up.
Yeah. Yeah, and the youth, we needed this learning experience.
Yeah.
If we're ever in this position again with hopefully a very similar squad, we're going to know exactly what it's like to either be down 1-0, 2-0, and be in this pressure spot and not give up. So that's my positive note for this game is we are going to lose at some point. How much can we learn in between then? And between, the Wales game, I think we learned a lot that game. The England game, I think we maybe could have played a little bit differently to punish England because they were being so lackluster, lethargic of the team then, where we probably could have punished them a little bit more. The pressure of the Iran game, win or go home, and then this game, just seeing our defense just collapse when it was almost like the moment was the moment too big for them, and the spotlight was on.
I think maybe a little bit, like, I think it just kind of hurt with us having so much of the ball that the times that they had to defend, it was always like a hard counter. And then, like, that first goal, like, Tyler Adams has been great the whole tournament, and then this time just doesn't really track Memphis as he's running right past him, and then he's open at top of the box, and second goal, Dest is just chilling in the box, I guess ready for halftime because it almost was, and you let 35-year-old Daley Blind run past you and score. And then that last one, I think it's Ream on that side with Anthony Robinson.
I don't think that's Ream's fault though.
No. I don't think it was Ream's fault. Yeah. But Anthony just got sucked in and never once looked behind him. Like, Dumfries has been out there on that wing that whole game. Like, not even one check.
If you go watch that replay, go look at Tim Ream's face, because he turns and he's just like, where is he? Where is he? And of course, he just blasted that ball. So props to my mom for having him, Dumfries, on the team. Who else had Dumfries?
Pretty much everyone that had a good day. I think Laura had him. Maybe one other. Daley Blind was also a good pick. He got 12 points, and he had 12. Dumfries, I think, had 14. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's kind of all I have to say about that game specifically. But
yeah, same. I mean, we got 4 years to go, and in these next 4 years, now expectations are higher now than they were this morning, which is crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. I mean, that's like, we were in a position to maybe win this game 2 minutes in because we were so close to scoring that first goal. But now that's behind us. Looking to the future, oh my gosh, 4 years from now, my heart rate's already spiking.
I mean, moving forward, is Greg Berhalter your guy?
With those subs he's been making, I don't think so. But again, I really want to see how much our players on our team play in this next year and a half. Who is going to stay on the starting 11 of the squads they're in? Who's going to drop off? Who's going to come up? How much time do we let Greg have to kind of, be with this team? I don't like changing coaching. It seems like everyone likes Greg, maybe besides Reyna at this moment. That's just kind of the odd one out. I don't think we'll really know for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know how we'll ever find out, but I want to just see how all those guys do with their club teams in the next year and a half. I want to see either Pulisic start or go to another team. I know, rumors of Liverpool right now would love it. Because,
is it really?
Yep, I would love that transfer right now because Diaz is getting hurt. Saul is getting old. I mean, he would fit into either side. He would start immediately. I mean, and we got our boy on my team, which is even great. That's sweet. I'll be pumped. I love Brendan Aronson. I think when he came on today, energy went up. It's like, why is that guy starting? Like, he's a fighter, man. He fights the whole game.
I almost feel like we almost need to take the like 2010 Spain or like Man City last year approach and just have like no out and out striker. And like you could have had Brendan Aronson play that striker role, and you know he loves to press. He does it at Leeds. He runs for 90 minutes straight. You know, like, and then you know him and Tyler Adams being on the same club team, they have a little bit more of a connection than the rest of the guys. So while him coming into the midfield definitely helped and it ups the tempo, I think we maybe should have tried him in a striker formation. Like,
would have been fun.
But again, I think he would play it more as like a Firmino or a Gabriel Jesus kind of thing, where it's like you're dropping back a lot and still picking up the ball pretty deep, but you also have the pace to get back up front and, you know, hopefully get on the cross or whatever. But yeah, but I mean, for me, Greg is probably not the guy. It just, I think the start of the game, he sets us up fairly well. But then I think in-game tactics and switches seemingly don't happen. Like, you never really see too much of a switch. Like, it's always, we kind of give it out wide and the fullbacks run down and, you know, either pass it up to Pulisic or Weah or cross it in. And, you know, our midfield is good. I don't think we use them enough, like in the right way, I guess. Today, they kind of got boxed out for at least that first half, for sure.
I was just about to bring that up. The Dutch did a great job at shutting down our midfield, which has been our strong point.
Yeah, so I mean, I get that, like, and I guess, you know, after halftime, we came out and looked more threatening, so halftime talk, I guess, was good, and whatever tactical switches he talked about in there, but just feel like in-game, I don't know if he's afraid to make some switches because things are working or what. Like, I'm just thinking with the England game, like, we felt like the dominant team in that game, and I really think some earlier subs of, you know, an Aronson or a Reina or something, like, I think we could have got a goal from that game and probably held on for the win unless England was going to turn it on out of nowhere.
4 subs after the 76th minute.
Yeah,
I have that imprinted in my brain. I will never forget it. Why that just, it takes you, I don't want to say a while to get used to the pace of a game, because I don't know. Yeah. I don't know what the pace. I have no idea what the pace is like, but I just can't imagine you can come on and in 13 minutes you're like, oh, I'm dialed in. It doesn't. Yeah, because in life that just doesn't work. So I can't imagine working on the pitch.
Yeah, like, especially at this level and like in the England game, you know, you're the underdog here. You know, England has the quality to score on you. So you got to come in, and I'm assuming you probably start like pretty disciplined when you first come on. Just like stick to my position, you know, mark my guy, track my runner, sort of thing. And then 5-10 minutes into it, then it's like, okay, now I can kind of feel comfortable in my position. So now let me try and like make that dribble or like make that extra run. And you do that earlier and kind of beat England to their subs, and I don't know, I think you probably could have got something, or at least looked a little bit more threatening towards the end there. And
the what ifs, Chad, the what ifs.
The what ifs.
We could be here all day going over the what ifs. It's
for sure, but I don't know.
It's frustrating.
That stuff just with Greg was just, I don't know. I feel like he just doesn't see the game well enough from the sideline to like be the manager I want to take us forward necessarily.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what other former players who want to coach. I would love, I really like Dempsey's energy, especially doing broadcasting. Even Donovan. It'd be really interesting to see one of those guys who are...
I mean, Landon Donovan coaches San Diego Loyal in USL right now.
That's awesome. I didn't know that. It'd be interesting to see if he'd be open to this job. I don't know why he wouldn't be.
I think because their record was not bad over the last 2 years, I think.
Okay.
He's been there. Let's see if I can...
Well, I just wanted to shout out the Dutch keeper really quick because that dude is just under 6'7". He's a monster, dude. He is so freaking lengthy. So to get one past him, I was like, whoa. like finally, we broke him even just a little bit, even though it wasn't really necessarily a shot on him. He didn't stop it. So...
No, yeah, but I mean,
he's huge,
comfortable back there. Yeah, I was like not afraid to come out and grab the crosses and stuff.
I tried to find his wingspan, I couldn't find it, but I imagine if you're 6'7",
big.
It's usually the size of you plus 5 or 6 inches.
Yeah.
So he's probably at like 7 feet across with his arms. That's pretty crazy.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So just Landon Donovan at San Diego Loyal. He's been there since 2020. In 2020 they placed 4th. 2021 they placed 3rd. 2022 they placed 2nd. So. The players are coming and going and all that, but I think your coaching probably is reflected in that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what
into that. I'm going to look into what his style is.
I don't know what his plan is. If he's just chilling here for now and then looking at MLS, or if he does have kind of eyes on the international team, which I think by 2026 might be a little quick.
Yeah.
But depending on how it goes,
it'd be cool to see.
Yeah,
it'd be nostalgic for us. But if he's actually a decent manager, why not? Should we talk about the GOAT?
The GOAT, Shaqiri.
Maybe after this tournament, if he bangs another couple more goals in. I mean, what was the stat that we read? It was. Do you remember it? It was. There's only 3 players to score in the last 4 World Cups. Is that the correct stat?
I think Messi, that was it. Yeah.
Ronaldo, Jordan Shaqiri. How awesome! You knew it was coming. I knew he was going to score in that game. How could you not score in that game?
Nah, yeah, it had to happen.
No, I'm referring to Lionel Messi. Dude, he controlled that midfield today.
Yeah. I mean,
whoever doubts him, what are you doing?
I still feel bad for him because he could have had probably 3 assists to Martinez, and the dude just could not hit the target.
What was he doing?
It's still, even though Argentina's looked better this game and the previous game, it's still so apparent that Messi is just tiers above the rest of the team, and the other players at their clubs and stuff are not bad players, but here I don't know if they're just trying to live up to Messi's level, so they get nervous or something and overthink things. But man, it's still he's carrying. But I mean, I think they had a pretty good performance today. Probably should have been a clean sheet. Had a crazy deflection on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, stepped hard to the right. I mean, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do. The one thing I saw differently today with Messi out of all the other Argentinian games that I've watched, he had a little burst of speed today through pockets, and he really hasn't shown that. In the group stage games where he'd be a couple defenders around him and he'd kind of just lay the ball off or not necessarily run into them. Today he was kind of coming straight at them, and I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, and
he looked good doing it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's probably smart for him because he knows he's going to get a lot of the opposing players on him. But if he just gets the ball, they come to him, he passes it off. They're not really engaged with him. Whereas if he's now driving forward, they're running with him. So they're now out of the play when he gets that pass off. So, I mean, that's probably their way forward. Like,
yeah, it makes you wonder too if he, was being really patient in the group stages, not trying to get any knocks. I mean, even in this game today, he didn't really take any hard tackles. And being as old as he is at 35, I think he's 35.
35, I think, yeah.
Your body, Father Time is knocking. You can't take these huge hits, and I think he's being very crafty when there are defenders charging at him, that he's either getting the ball off quick or, like today, able to maneuver his way around them and be as slick as he used to be 15 years ago. And I saw we were watching some highlights of Messi in the World Cup in South Africa, where he just bolts just straight through as fast as he can, and no one can catch him.
Oh my gosh!
We'll never see that again from Messi, just because of the position he's now playing and like what his job and role is. But he's still the freaking best. He's still so good. Even the people here who don't watch soccer as religiously as we do, you just recognize that guy is better than everyone else, and he just grabs your attention. It's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things I loved about Messi, was that he was able to like kind of evolve his game as he got older, and still be just like super effective at whatever position he's now kind of playing. Whereas like Ronaldo kind of did, like he
for a minute,
was kind of like changing his game, but then I think in his head he was just like, I just want to score goals. So then he was like, I'm a striker now again. And it's like, he's losing that pace a little bit. And I don't think he has the same agility, I guess, to pull the moves or the quick burst of energy to get past the guys. And like, he's still quick. But it seemed like Messi kind of realized like what would eventually happen to him and, adjusted accordingly. Whereas Ronaldo was just like, no, I can out train and out work out this age and speed decline and be fine. And I think now we're kind of seeing just the effects of that.
With Ronaldo, I think a big part of his game has always been reaction time, and I'm learning this myself right now, that as you age, your reaction time just gets slower and slower. So when you're playing with 20-year-olds, their reaction time just happens to be fractions of seconds faster than you. And like, for instance, that header, that error he had the other day, that's a reaction time thing. He reacted how he usually does, but it just, the body did not process as quickly as his mind did, which led to his error. That is a natural, part of evolution within your own body. Happens with every athlete there ever was. And he is stubborn enough to where he will not adjust his game. I see this every day with my Los Angeles Lakers. The guys who are getting old don't adjust because they still think they're in their prime. Now, they're still good. They're still good players, but they need to adjust. And he has not had that kind of sit-down moment with himself, saying, I am not what I was 10 years ago. And I'm sure an athlete of that caliber, that takes a lot of discipline to tell yourself that, I'm not the same. I don't think it will happen with him. I don't.
Probably not.
I think he's that elitist athlete type where he's better than you no matter what, any time of the day, which is a great mindset to have, but you have to recognize at some point you're not.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's a free agent now, so everyone shoot your shot if you want Ronaldo.
Did you see the Saudi Arabia rumored deal?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
$700 million for 2 years.
He already has enough money. Do you really want to go live and play in Saudi Arabia when you'll get offers from, probably some teams in Portugal to bring you home, or MLS sides? Like, I don't know.
Like, it's probably all fluff. I don't necessarily believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he wants one more shot at Champions League. Yeah, I just don't know who's gonna want him right now.
Yeah, I know Chelsea's been in the conversation, which tactically is a bad idea, but having a American owner who just like wants the money, I think he would really consider it just for like the name on the kit and all the kit sales because of that.
What do you think Newcastle?
I would say no, only because they're like performing well now. If it were a little bit more rocky,
like
they might
7th,
spring for it. Yeah, I think if they were kind of mid-table, like they might spring for it. But because they're still performing so well without Alexander Isak, like you got a great player still coming back from injury now, and you're still up in what, third or fourth at this point. Like,
yeah, I think they're third at the moment, and not far behind from second or first. So.
No, yeah, not at all.
They're right there. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up Messi because he's the best. But so tomorrow we got Poland and France in the morning. Prediction?
Oh, as much as the Polish in me would love Poland to pull off the upset, they have just done absolutely nothing in all the games I watched from them this tournament. Like, they somehow found their way into the round of 16. Just, I don't know, but I can't see them pulling off anything, so it should be an easy France win. I'm gonna go in like 3-0.
I was gonna say 3-0 as well. I kind of want to say 4, but I don't think they'll really. Fourth one might be tough. I just don't. France is really good. As simple as that. I think they could repeat. I really do.
Oh yeah.
From top to bottom, when you got Mbappe in there, who's as young as he is and as good as he is.
Yeah.
The dude perform. I mean, every position you look at that team, you're just like, holy crap. I guess their midfield might be the rockiest, but you don't need a midfield when your attacking core and your defensive core.
Just throw that ball up top. Someone will get it.
Yeah. So, that'll be interesting. The England-Senegal game, though, I don't want to sniff an upset, but I think England might have some trouble.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking about that before we started talking. Like, I don't know what my prediction will be on this, because if England is playing to the best of their abilities, they'll win. But we've seen time and again this England team just not. And if they come out like they did against the US, that Senegal team is going to be up for it, because you're round to 16. You know, if you get this moment of leading the game, you're probably trying to drive that home and not even give England a chance at the goal. It's I don't know.
Senegal have nothing to lose. They don't have their best player.
Yeah,
they made it to 16s. I think we're going to see a brave and risk-taking team that is just going to leave it all out there. So my prediction is going to be 2-1 England, but Senegal is going to fight to the very, very, very last minute. I think their only chance at scoring might come at a weird fluke set piece, just because England's backline has been pretty strong overall.
Yeah.
They really haven't had any defensive lapse. Would love to see it go to PKs. This could be a great change of tide for Mendy, because he's had such a not the best start to his Premier League this season. So for him to bounce back, go to PKs, do something magical for Senegal against England, against all of those guys he's already playing against, I think that's a huge, huge benefit for Senegal, is that Mendy goes against, how many players on that team? If Rashford starts against Sterling, so roughly 9 out of the 10 open field players, I'm thinking Mason Mount in there.
Yeah.
Everyone else is not on Chelsea. Is that right?
I mean,
I think that's right.
it sounds right. I mean, it definitely will help, like, having come up against, the Harry Kanes and stuff of not really being starstruck or anything by it. I mean, like, we've seen Mendy pop off before, and yeah, he's in a rough patch of form, but, like, what better time to break out of that and against England and, see Senegal through to the next round.
Yep. I think it'll be fun. I think that'll be a really good game. I think both games tomorrow are going to be fun to watch. Again, I don't think France-Poland game will be a close one, but I think just watching France be as good as they are, I think that'll be cool to see. So, as these knockout stages go on, I'm down to kind of do this with you, even if we take a half hour to kind of just bust some quick talks out. I think that'd be fun to do because, I mean, it's nice having only 2 games now per day. As time goes on, we'll get to 1 game per day.
I think so. Yeah.
So things will move a little bit slower. I think we get Thursday off this week, which I'm like, okay. I don't want to say I'm happy we get a day off from the World Cup, but we get 1 day of breathing room to, especially for us to, enter all our stats, get the rosters going for the next one.
Yeah.
Our league's looking pretty competitive right now. Again, I only had 1 player going today, and I'm still sitting okay in second, but I'm seeing, the 27s, the 30s, the 20s. A lot of teams definitely are moving up quicker than I thought. Who are you needing right now to have a big game to kind of push up in the standings?
Let's see. Let me find my team just to refresh my memory here. Okay. If I could get Saka to get some goals tomorrow, that'll definitely help. I think it's like me and maybe like 1 or 2 other people have him. So, because everyone else basically took Messi and Mbappe. Like, there's very few people that didn't take both of them. Right. Which I think will be fine because it'll keep me kind of in pace with everyone. I mean, I'd love Hakimi to do some stuff for me coming up. Like, he did pretty good during the groups. If he can get me some more points, I think that'll help me. Like, I don't know. I'm playing catch up still, but as we've seen before, this changing of roster between each stage just really opens up the whole standings. Like, you're almost never out of it, right? You can. If you make the right picks, like, had someone picked like Daley Blind and Denzel Dumfries today, if you had both of them, man, you're cruising, like, you're almost set for this round. Like, but yeah, so I'm not feeling out of it yet. Like, I don't feel like in the Premier League where I didn't pick Holland and I'm just out of it. Like, so yeah, I think we're moving in the right direction, definitely.
Yeah, plenty of time to kind of come back. Sufi, he had a pretty good day today with his team, but he had 3 guys going, and only to get 19 points with 3. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Matt Turner with 1 today just kind of sucks. I was really hoping today's game would go to PKs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I need a big. A Koulibaly game would be great, even though Sufi has him. I had to play it pretty safe this round. I think only a couple of people have Modric, which I was pretty surprised by.
Yeah, not a lot of picks for him, so if he performs well, then he'll be okay.
And then I went, double Brazil back line, just because I don't think Brazil's going to have a ton of trouble, keeping a clean sheet in their game. And then, Brazil just always does some crazy things with their guys on set pieces, especially Thiago. So this is I think at least the last 2 World Cups, Thiago has done so much work for me in the round of 16. So I was like, I have to go with him. He essentially won it for me in 2014. And I just don't see South Korea defending those. I haven't watched South Korea too closely, but Brazil is... They're overall.
I mean, yeah, Brazil's looking great too. So
that'll be fun. That game's on Monday.
Okay, yeah. I am surprised that I guess I'm a little bit surprised, but maybe also not, that no one picked Neymar. I know he's like a little bit of an injury doubt, but from all the early reports, it was that he would be back for the round of 16. And I haven't heard anything otherwise, so I don't know. Maybe Neymar comes back and just he scores all the goals and no one else gets points.
It's cool with me. No one has him, right?
No, not at all.
Cool. Hey, I got my schedule wrong. We actually have Wednesday and Thursday off for the World Cup.
Oh, 2 days in a row?
2 days in a row.
Wow. Okay.
So, that's good. We can give people a little bit of time to get their rosters.
Yeah.
I'll be like, we need it tonight. Which,
yeah.
Shout out to everyone in our league for doing it. Well done. I didn't expect that.
That was great.
We did harass him a little bit, but you got to do what you got to do when you're the commissioner, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, everything's going smoothly. Still have a lot more games left. I saw today was match 49 out of 64.
Oof.
So it's crazy how close we are and still how far away we are from this thing being over.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's just like, it feels quick though. Like, now we already know Netherlands and Argentina, they're playing next. Like it's going to go quick at this later part of the tournament, but I think we'll have a lot of good games going forward.
Mm-hmm. And I'm officially out of World Cup Survivor. And then my buddy
I'm
out.
That's right.
USA is out. So, and then my buddy Rad here in town, he had Australia, and he's out as well. He was going against Kristen too. So in our house, I was like, dang. I was like, Argentina's looking good. And he was like, shut up, man. Like, root for Australia. I was like, oh shit. Like, you're right. And then we have my other buddy Mark in town. He's going against the Waffle, France, Poland. And then we got the Waffle against Zach again.
Waffle could be out.
Yeah, Waffle could be out with the upset on England Senegal. But I think definitely Poland will be out.
Yeah.
And then John beat me today. So and then we have my dad with Croatia and John with Japan, which you never know. You never know. Kristen with Morocco against you. Spain.
Oh no!
So today she was like, "I don't have anyone from Morocco." I was like, "You have Hakimi." She goes, "Oh yeah, go Hakimi." And I was like, "There you go." And then Zach again with Portugal, going against our other friend in town, Nakesa with Switzerland, and then Nakesa with South Korea again, going against Daniel's Brazil. Yeah, man, a lot of people with two teams. How do they do that?
Look, I basically started with one team, so from the moment I saw Qatar, I was like, well, let's hope the other team's a good contender.
Yeah, I don't remember when I was trying to find the paperwork for when we did this in 20. I think I don't know if we did it for 2018. I couldn't find anything for 2018. I don't necessarily remember it. 2014, we did it for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't remember 5 people being out after the group because maybe like 1 or 2 because we didn't split it up top 16, bottom 16. But just seeing 5 people out already, I was like, oh man. And then now 6 and 7 today. So not a lot of teams left. So yeah, we'll see. It's nice that teams are finally getting eliminated though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
I think that's kind of it, right?
I think we nailed it. Our half-hour talk turned into an hour, as it always does.
As they do, you know.
It's just,
I think the other ones will be shorter. We just had to, get the US
this is therapy
grief out of us. Yeah.
I had a lot on my chest. This was a therapy session. Glory to the United States men's national team and women's World Cup. Shout out 230 days till they start up.
Ooh, okay.
I'm definitely gonna be watching. I'm just so into it right now, and so that'll be super fun. They play in Australia. So what does that do to our time zone, Chad?
Let's check out
what time is it in Australia.
I think that might be pretty good for us.
I don't know. It's 5 o'clock there right now. It might be good for you.
AM?
No, PM.
PM.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. I don't know. I'm going to say it's going to be good.
I imagine they won't have to do like the weird 10 o'clock local times
Mm-hmm.
I think they probably go, 3-5-7-9? 2 hours
Probably.
apart, 3-5-7-9. It's 5 o'clock there now. 2 hours ago, games will start at 10 o'clock locally for me. I'll catch one game probably a day. So we'll see how that really works. But until then, it's been a pleasure. And
as always,
let's keep tracking our points, and hopefully we'll get our predictions right. So wait, let's one more time as we end this. Predictions for tomorrow. I think we both agreed 3-0 France against Poland. What was your England prediction?
You know what? I'm gonna go a 1-1 into penalties.
Ooh, hot take.
England, I think, will take it in penalties. But
what's the score line of your penalties? Yeah, we're going deep.
Yeah, wow. Well, obviously, Saka's going to step back up and just nail it because he has with every penalty since.
Does he go first?
Harry.
Or does Kane go first for the PKs?
At the Euros, Kane went first.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I think Saka's going first.
I was gonna say that, but then I'm kind of thinking that maybe Saka just wants to go last as like a
redemption story.
Redemption, yeah.
Oof, I just got nervous for him.
Oh boy. Man, I think it's we'll hit penalties, and we're gonna do. I can't tell you. It's just in my heart. I want Senegal to just like power through, and
put your boys out there.
Mendy just diving everywhere and spider arms.
I think Mendy saves one. I think he saves one. I don't know if
Oh, he saves the one that Mason Mount takes because he knows him.
My lord, Mason Mount's gonna punt it over the goalpost. I'd put money on it if I could. I'm thinking 2-1 England full time.
Cool.
But if your prediction stands, I think Mendy saves one. I can't give you a score line, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, Hooligans are out. See y'all tomorrow.